Today we are presenting the theory of production. So, as you know, the theory of production is an effort to explain the principle of which a business firm decides how much of its commodity that it sells, its output or products, it will produce, and how much of its time of labor, raw materials, fixed capital goods that employs in input or factors of production that will be used in production. Okay, but before I will proceed with my explanation, let me present you the different formula. How we compute the input and output in production. So, AP is a marginal products output. QP, total products or output. I stands for resource input. This triangle is represent for change. DP is total product. EP is average product. K for capital. L for labor. Ito yung mga gagamitin natin in order for us to come up this following production table. Okay? So, in theory of production, we have production function. So, ito yung nagpa-function for us to have output. Okay? Production function is an equation that expresses the relationship between the quantities of products factors such as labor and capital, used, and the amount of product obtained. It states the amount of product that can be obtained from every combination of factors, assuming that the most efficient available methods of production are used. Okay? So, yung mga labor, yung material, so kailangan, if you are in a production, kailangan gamitan mo siya ng pinaka most efficient na paraan for you to have a good or mas madaming output. Of course, in producing output, you should always focus and you should always, hindi mo dapat kalimutan na you always go for a quality. You are not going to sa quantity lang, but of course, you need to produce a good output na talagang the customer will satisfy. Okay. There are two words that you need to remember in theory of production. First is the ISO one. In Greek words, ISO is equal. Quant is quantity. So, ISO equal in quantity. Isocos is equal in cost. There are also diminishing, law of diminishing returns, return to scale, and churns and chance. In putting your output, you should always consider the marginal unit and then the average product. Okay? Kung isa pa lang yung tao, ang marginal target niya is 5 and the average product units that he can produce is 5. So, naka-target po siya. Kung titingnan niyo sa stage 1, talagang maganda yung flow of output niya. But if you will compare to stage 4, manami ng tao, the output is 0, and then nag-negative siya ng 2. And then the unit na, if you compute this, 0 na po yung naging average product niya. And if we put it into a resource input, in figure 39 na production function, talagang sa stage 1 pa lang, ang taas na ng output niya. Nag-fluctuate siya around dito sa 24. Oh yes. Ang total niya. But pagpunta na niya dito sa stage 3, ano na siya? Tagilid na siya, nag-negative na po siya. So, the figure that we need to, the labor, the the input that we need, kailangan talaga natin siyang i-consider in producing a good output. In ISO 1, labor versus capital input versus marginal of substitution, the change of capital, change of labor. So, let's say for example, if sa ISO 1, we have one manpower, labor is manpower, and the capital input is 30, and then the marginal rate of substitution is wala. If i-compare mo naman siya dito, mayroong 10, nakapag-produce ko siya ng 12. And then yung marginal rate of substitution niya is 0 na. So, always take note, once na mas marami yung labor input mo, at ang marginal rate of substitution mo, bumababa din po yan. So, nung dalawa, talagang nakapag-capital input nila is 26, they are able, the marginal rate substitution or MRS is 4. So, talagang mas equal kasi, equal yung quantity, equal yung labor, equal yung all the needed requirements para in producing the output is maganda. In other words, nagkatugma po siya. Okay? If we compare that to ISO 1, sa labor sa figure 21, the ISO 1, which is the quantity versus the capital. So, same, pa-downward, and pa-constant lang siya. Always remember that during production, return to scale is meron tayong increasing, decreasing, and constant. So, here in ISO 1 graph, you will see nag-decrease po siya, naging constant siya, nag-decrease, nag-constant po siya. So, talagang, that's three components in return to scale.
Is hierarchy of isoquants. So a hierarchy of isoquants is an array of isoquants which correspond to different levels of resource inputs and plant capacity. In figure 42, all points of Q1 move upward to form the higher isoquants as more capital and labor combine increases plant capacity. So kung ato makita diri sa Q1, ang all points move upward para maka-form siya og higher nga isoquants. So para siya maka-form og higher isoquants, kinahanglan nga patasan ang capital ug ang labor. And then kung mas taas ang iyang capital ug ang labor nga i-combine, so it will increase the plant capacity. Then the next is the isocost curve and its hierarchy. So theoretically, there are infinite combinations of production resources that a given budget can buy. So mao ni siyang illustration sa na ay fixed budget nga gihatag. So for example, diri sa table 15, ang iyang fixed budget is 10,000. So yun, ang price sa iyang capital is 2,000 each, and then the price of labor 500 each. So kung mupalit siya capital, 5 pieces of capital, so equivalent of 10k kay 5 pieces multiplied by 2,000, so 10k. So sa graph, ang 5 nga capital diri wala na siya mapalit nga labor, 0, kay ang 5 nga capital is equivalent to 10k. So kung sa ikaduha, 4 pieces ang iyang capital na gipalit, so equivalent of 8,000 kay 2,000 each. So napasay mapalit sad nga 4 pieces of labor. And then padalon diri sa ubos, kung 20 po ang iyang paliton nga labor, so multiplied by 500, so 10,000. So, 0 po ang iyang kapital. So, mao na siyang illustration sa graph nga na siya given a fixed budget. And the next one is the iso-cost combination. So, the iso-quant represents what can be produced, while the iso-cost curve defines the cost and budgetary limits of production. So, the AB is the iso-cost line represents the given cost outlay at given prices of capital and labor. And the Q1 are the isoquants representing different levels of output. Then the next is change in resource mix. Resource mix or combination is defined as how much of one resource is used per unit of the other. Kung ato makita diri sa illustration, so ang labor or capital, if ever kung musaka ang ihang capital, ang price musaka, so ang ihang budget line must shift to the left, and then kung ang iyahang price pod mo mubos, so ang iyahang budget line will shift to the right. Then the next is change in relative efficiency. Maintaining resource combination with more or less efficient labor at point A, so now corresponds to a lower output level. So drawing an isoquant through point A be only lower than Q2, which is the same as Q1 except for relative resource efficiency. So but the optimum resources combination is at point B, where the same budget can buy more or more efficient capital instead of less efficient labor to maximize the output.
I am the third reporter. My topic is all about productivity. So when we say productivity, it is the dynamic of response efficiency as it affects production, succeeding and its impacts on the firm's competitiveness and survival. Concepts of productivity. Productivity is the efficiency and therefore the power of inputs to produce, and here it is the formula of productivity. So productivity is equals to is Q over I, where Q is an output and I is an input. So input is referred to productivity is of two forms, and average productivity is the efficiency of output, which is taken as a whole and measured as their average, and output as in the foregoing formula. So let's go to the marginal productivity. So when we say marginal productivity, it is the efficiency of additional inputs and the average of output. So the formula of marginal productivity is equals to change Q over change I, where it is the bukatang burag triangle mo ni siya kanang change. Then marginal activity or MP, it is measure its marginal efficiency, while average product AP, it is the labor that measure its average efficiency. So that would be all. That would be all of my topic, and let's go to the next report.
Advantages. Productivity improvement, more outputs per unit of input or with the same total inputs as the increase in the efficiency ratio Q over I indicates. And next, less inputs for the same total or units of output as the decrease in the ratio inverse I over Q indicates. The second, economically viable. First, profitable improvement resources efficiency in the foregoing categorized as an increase. Next, also this form of efficiency is measured as output per monetary units of input with later expressed as a monetary cost in the basic productivity ratio Q over I. The effect of two types productivity. Technical efficiency capitalized on the output. Cost efficiency give emphasize to the cost in the relative resource efficiency. Economically efficiency, maximum social benefits and low.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My report is all about returns to scale and productivity. Returns to scale measures how output changes relative to resources inputs in the long run and indicates how overall resources efficiency changes with plant size. Plant expansion either conditions or staples resources efficiency depending on plant size and condition. Return to scale is measured as follows. These are the formula of returns to scale. R is equal to percentage changes in output over percentage changes in resources input. Resources efficiency Q over 1 increase when R is greater than 1 because Q increases faster than I. The opposite is true when R is less than 1. To capture the effect of plant expansion on resources efficiency, the measure assumes the same percentage of use of plant capacity and excludes the distorting effect in diminishing returns. Say a decline in plant efficiency from overusing resources as due to expansion. Therefore, the measure of R truly reflects the relation between size and efficiency only. When the degree of plant use is constant, assume a simple case of plant expansion with no effect in efficiency, either constant return or scale. This expansion is like enlarging your photo with the same body proportion. Therefore, output increases proportionally with resource inputs in the production function for the same capacity used. This is a figure of 48 returns to scale. Figure 48, all the points of TP1 move upward to form the new production function TP2. For use of plant capacity, for example, result in the same output-input relation at the B point to as the B1, following the proportion line. The same is true at the threshold of diminishing returns at points A1 and A2 range product. And therefore, overall resources efficiency remains the same despite plant expansion. R has a value of 1 with proportional increases in plant size capacity. But underusing the bigger plant capacity at 0.882 in the foregiven distorts the measuring R with the opposite effect and diminishing returns. R is now less than 1 with a lower average product. AP to B1 to A2, not because of return to scale, but because of less efficiency rate of land use. Next is reason for return to scale. The early part of plant expansion, conditions, resources, specialization,